What's up, guys? It's Gorilla Vinny. Thanks for coming through to another virtual workout. We'll do it like we always do. We'll start with a warm-up, go through 9 rounds, 3 minutes apiece, 1 minute of rest in between, and then we'll end with a cool down and a stretch. As always, safety is number one priority, so please, throughout the workout, go at your own pace, take breaks when you need to, stay hydrated, drink water, and modify exercises when and where necessary. I might ask you to do something that, for one reason or another, whether it's an injury or inflexibility, whatever it may be, you may need to modify the movement. So please do so to the best of your ability. But as much as you can, stick to what I do. And the more you're able to over time, the better you get at these movements. So let's do our best. We came to work out. We came to learn. Let's make it happen. All right, let's get into the warm-up. We'll start with jumping jacks. Make sure as you do this, you have your hands meeting at the top and your feet go at least as wide as your shoulders. You want to stay nice and relaxed. And remember that we're just trying to get some blood flow, some circulation, soften up our muscle tissue so that it moves more easily and it stretches more easily throughout the workout. Get a consistent breathing pattern as well. And get ready. We're going to go into high knees next. Make sure those knees come at least as high as your waist if you can, or as close to that as possible. Stay light on the toes. Don't slam your feet into the ground. And breathe steadily throughout, as with everything. A few more seconds. And here we go. Now we're going to go into squats. Make sure those feet are a little bit wider than your shoulders. And then sit back like you're sitting in a chair. You want to try to let your butt sit back and not let your knees go too far forward. And really keep the weight in your heels and flat on your feet. Try to keep your back straight. Don't lean over too much. And don't lean left or right. You want your butt to sit right in between your knees. Next, we'll get on the floor. We're going to be in mountain climbers, push-up position, and then start running those knees to your chest. Do your best to keep your body weight forward, meaning your shoulders over your wrists, so that you're really forced to use your stomach in order to drive your knees to your chest, as opposed to using your legs to kind of drive forward. Stomach stays tight. Maintain your breathing pattern. Next, we'll go into push-ups. Make sure your hands are a little bit wider than your chest. You're going to go down and up. Breathing in as you go down, out as you come up. And each one of these warm-ups is about 20 seconds. So we're just going to keep rolling with it for about 20 seconds per warm-up exercise. Utilize those chest muscles. Now we're down on our elbows. We're going to rotate those hips left and right. Goal here is to keep those elbows flat on the ground and to really use your obliques and your stomach muscles to move your hips left to right, really stretching out those hip flexors and those hip muscles on the sides as well. Maintain your breathing. Last, we'll go on our back. We're going to go into bicycle crunches, trying to meet that elbow to your opposite knee, driving those knees towards your upper body. I like to do bicycle crunches because they give us an opportunity to work a little bit of cardio as well as working the stomach. And building speed in the stomach muscles is important for head movement and overall upper body stability. On our feet, finishing with some shadow boxing. Here we go. We're going to move around. And now that we've done this basic movement and this basic warm-up for our body, now we're trying to warm up our brain as well, and then increase and vary the range of motion. So we were doing these very straightforward movements that the body probably already knows, right in line with the basic physics and geometry of the body. But now we're going to move a little bit more dynamically. We're going to start throwing these movements that we're actually going to do throughout the class. So you go from general warm-up to a more specific warm-up. As you can see, I'm mixing it up. I'm throwing punches. I'm throwing kicks. I'm doing some defense. I'm doing some offense. I'm warming up with my left side, with my right side. The goal here, again, is to continue to warm up, to break a little bit of a sweat, but also to almost pre-rehearse some of these movements in the shadow boxing that we're going to do throughout the class. Try your best to make it look real and really put some effort. And there we go. Let's start. All right, let's jump right into it. We'll do some combinations, probably do a few jiu-jitsu moves in the middle of there just to toss it up today, a little bit of conditioning. But here we go with the first combo. We're going to throw that jab cross. I want to throw a teep. Then once I land that foot, they're going to go to kick me. I'm going to swoop. I'm going to step right back into my jab cross and then land that rear knee. Make sure you bring your foot back, hands back to your face. All right, so one more time. Jab cross, I teep, I swoop, I step forward. After I swoop, I step forward back with my jab cross, and then a rear knee to finish it up. Let's get into that first round. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is, first round. So again, we're throwing that jab cross. I teep, I swoop, I step back in, jab cross, and I drive that knee. Change my range, change my angle, so you see it from all sides. Let's go this way. So again, jab cross, I'm turning on my feet. Throw that teep, I swoop, I step back in with my jab cross, and then I drive that knee as I go through. Facing this way once for you, jab cross, teep, swoop. Notice my feet, my front foot moves, not my back foot. I swoop, and as I step back in, jab cross again, and then from there, I just drive that lead knee, bring my foot back. Make sure you get your distance under you, your feet under you again at the end. Remember, as we go, when you throw that teep, try to twist the hips, all right? Just did a video about it, about when we throw that teep, not to just keep your hips square and lean back. I want to twist my hips. I want to drive that lead hip into that lead teep. So as you're moving around, you're doing this combination, remember to give me that little Elvis movement, right? That twist in your hips so you get a little bit more range and a little more balance when you throw that straight kick. And you're not just leaning back, losing your balance as you do that. Same thing in terms of turning your hips, turning your shoulders. When you throw that cross, try not to keep that foot planted. Make sure you're twisting. Get in the habit of doing that. You might not do it every time you throw a punch. As you get more advanced, you'll learn ways to kind of really drive your hip without always having to pick your heel up. So you see some of the best guys, some of the best gals when they're fighting, they might not always have that heel up and turned with every punch, but the more powerful punches they do, the more perfect punches they do, you're going to see that happen. So try to get in the habit of doing that with every cross you throw, every hook, every uppercut, really just driving your body into it, okay? You got about 1:15 left. All right, same combination we were doing right off the bat. Jab, cross, I teep, I swoop, jab, cross, knee. Depending on where the person goes, if they move back, you might have to take a step in with that knee, or they might just crowd you, right? After you swoop, you step back in with that jab cross. Maybe they step in as if they're about to try to clinch you up, and from there, you drive that knee. Anything can happen. These are all hypotheticals. Whenever I do these combinations, it's really just a hypothetical exchange between you and an opponent. So many different variables can dictate whether you have to move forward or move to the side, or why one strike might be thrown versus another, or how you throw a strike one way versus another way. Again, we're just imagining an exchange, and this 30 seconds left. This is one of the ways that it can happen, okay? So a couple more times. Jab, cross, teep, swoop, jab, cross, rear knee. All right, we've probably done combinations very similar to this. And that's the truth, is most of our combinations will be very similar to each other because the building blocks are relatively the same for everybody. And the reason we all use most of the same building blocks is because over time, we've realized that these are the most useful things to do. All right, that's the end of the round. Very good. Breathe. Get your air back in your lungs. Move it around. Again, you might be throwing these very aggressively. You might be going light. I pretty much say this every class because I don't know where people jump in. You might jump in later on or maybe at the first class, but I always want to make sure that in between these rounds, you're taking the time you need to either rest, to rehydrate, not to check your phone or your work email unless you absolutely have to, but just to get yourself together again before we start. All right, 30 seconds left in the rest period. Next combination, let's throw a cross into a lead body shot, right? So let's go cross, lead body shot, lead hook. I want to roll in, lead hook into a low round kick. All right, so just adding a little bit of that defensive movement, right, with that roll. So cross, body shot, hook. I'm going to roll in, hook, round kick. Whether you throw the hook palm in, palm down, that's up to you. I vary. Really depends on the day, depends on the person, right? So cross, body, hook, roll in, hook, round kick. There's a round. All right, 3 minutes, round two. What we're doing here is I throw that straight punch down the middle to the nose. I hit to the ribs. I hit to the face. Maybe as I'm doing this, they try to swing. The person from behind swings big with that rear hand. So after I throw that hook, they swing big with that rear hand. I come in. I roll under that punch. Hopefully I have a little bit of movement. I can hit them to the side of the face and then either to the leg or to the body. Depends how they move. Again, if they kind of move with me, I might hit that front leg or I hit that roundhouse to the body. Could even be the rear leg. If that rear leg is very open, that roundhouse could go to the inside of that rear leg, because I am going to be going this way. I'm going to be going to the rear side of the person. Okay? Demonstrate it in this direction. So cross, body, shot, hook. Notice as I'm throwing that, elbow staying tight, protecting my rib, hand staying tight, protecting my face. I'm turning my body. I'm not throwing the hook like this, right? I'm throwing it here. Body, shot, hook. Okay? So now from here, as I roll, my hands stay up on my face, right? I don't roll like this. Using my hips, I use my legs. Boom. I roll. I'm kind of torqued up a little bit, right? I'm wound up, and then bang, there goes that hook. And again, I can throw that round kick to the body, or depending on the angle, I could throw it down onto the top of the leg. Okay? Got about 1:44 to go. So here, moving around, cross, body, hook, roll, hook, roundhouse. In this direction, cross, body, hook, roll, hook, roundhouse. Doing my best to kind of stay in the middle here so I don't have too much of that light shining heavy on my face and blinding me a bit, but hopefully it doesn't become a distraction for you guys as well. All right, so cross, body, shot, hook. I roll, hook to the face, round kick to the body. Okay, a round kick to the leg, round kick to the body. Again, you can practice it both ways. What you're going to do with that really depends on how the person moves. If you move them one way, if they tend to move one way, it's a high likelihood you can kind of come over the top of that front leg. Depending if they move another way, you might try to throw that round kick to the stomach if you're able to go really off to the side of them. You'll see what works with you if you try this in sparring or in another venue. All right, 40 seconds left. Let's keep moving around. Cross, body, hook, roll, hook, roundhouse. Make sure you keep those hands up when you roll. I see a lot of this when people roll. All right, try to keep your hands up, initiate the roll, and control the rolling movement, whether you're going into range or out of range, with as much of your leg muscles as possible, as opposed to using much of your back. Okay? Cross, body, hook, roll, hook, roundhouse. Try not to lose balance like I just did. All right, last 8 seconds. Pop, pop, pop. Roll, bang, boom. And time. There it is, time. Breathe. Good. Again, hopefully you're putting a little bit of oomph, a little bit of effort into this workout. The more you put in, the more you'll get out. I'm going through this lightly so I can maintain my cardio and my voice as I teach. Okay. For the next combination, let's do one more, and then we'll go into some conditioning in the next in the round after that. So we're going into round 3. Do another combination. From here, I want to use that rear teep. All right. So I want to give you an opportunity to drive that rear leg. Remember, when you throw the teep, don't just keep your hips square and lean back. Right? I want you to drive your hip forward. Bang. Notice I bring it all the way forward. And instead of the teep, let's actually, still going to use the hip twist, but let's make it a snap kick with your rear leg. So I want you to hinge at the knee, snap that kick all the way up to their chin. Okay? So we're going to go snap kick, jab, jab, low hook to the body, and then roll out. Just like that. 10 seconds left. So snap kick, jab, jab, step in, low hook to the body, and then half roll out. Okay, half roll because you're already low. This is beginning of the round. So from here, I'm in front of the camera. I snap kick. My hip comes all the way forward. I snap, bring it back, jab, jab. Get the attention up by their face. A kick to the chin, double jab to the nose, and now once the hands are up, I come in low, hook to the body, and then I roll out. I say half roll, right? A half roll out because when I throw that hook to the body, I'm already low. So I'm already probably at the lowest point of what usually we make that U motion. Right, when we roll, I'm already halfway down there, right? So I'm here, and I'm just going to kind of half roll out back to my feet, right, back to my regular stance. So from here, snap kick from the rear leg, right? Snap kick, jab, jab. What's his hand up high? Jab, jab, rear hook, roll it out. And I've used this pretty successfully in terms of throwing that rear strike and then rolling out, hitting to the body with that rear hand and then rolling out. Can be really effective against taller, longer fighters, right? Because the body maybe is a little bit closer to us because we're shorter to the ground, people like me, right? Maybe you're the same. So once you throw any of these strikes to the body, don't just come up right in front of them, right? Hit the body as you come out. Try to get some distance as you retreat. So again, not just into their range. You want to get close to your opponent and then retreat, boom, right in their range. You throw this, bang. Get back and get to the side a little bit. So as you're rolling out, don't roll back in a straight line. Roll off to the side a little bit. Most likely, their lead hand is on this side, so you want to get to the outside of it as opposed to right back where they can hit you right down the middle, okay? So, sorry, teep from that back leg, jab, jab, rear hook, roll out. A little bit to an angle, a little bit back, okay? Hands up, keep trying it. You got a minute 15 to go. Good opportunity for you to work on this rolling, which is important. Good opportunity for you to focus on hitting to the body, which is also important, right? Make sure when you roll, watch yourself in the mirror if necessary. Make sure you're not just doing a big squat. So the roll is not this. I've been seeing that a lot. Excuse me. I've been seeing that in a lot of my classes too, and I'm learning different ways to kind of get people out of that habit. But the roll requires. I know when we squat, we want to sit back. That for fitness movement, that's important. But when it comes to fighting, you kind of want your energy always going forward. So we're not going to bring our knees all the way over our toes, but I want you to think about keeping the knees a little bit further this way as opposed to butt going back. So what that means is when I roll, I'm not going to roll like this. I'm going to roll with my body weight forward a little bit. Notice how my knees went a little bit over my toes, right? I always have my energy ready to bound forward if necessary. So I threw that rear hook, boom, roll. I kept my toes forward, my heels back, and I didn't just sit my butt back and straighten out my back like I was sitting down into a chair. All right. For the squat, that makes sense. For rolling, not so much so. All right. One last time. Kick, jab, jab, hook, roll out. There's the end of the round. Good. Take a sip of water if you need to. Breathe. Get your wits about you. Let's go into the next round, which will be, let's do a little bit of jiu-jitsu, all right, just to work the stomach. We have a couple different exercises we can do. So from here, I'm going to face away so you guys don't have to look up my shorts, all right? We're going to put our hips in the air, and we're going to lock what's called a triangle. Triangle choke, usually done with the legs, is oftentimes done with the legs, is basically I'm going to make a triangle with my hips, with my legs, and the person is going to have their basically head and one arm in here, and I'm going to choke them just using my legs, which gives me an opportunity if I'm defending myself on the ground to also hold them in place and then punch them if I need to, which is, very good in a self-defense situation. But we're going to drive our hips to the ceiling, and we're going to lock the triangle. Foot goes behind the knee, and then I lock. Then I switch. Foot goes behind the knee, and then I lock. So watch me as I go up into the air. I bring my hips up, and then I lock the triangle. Foot behind the knee. A lot of people try to do this. Not the same. Foot behind the knee. So I want you to come up, lock the triangle. Come up, lock the triangle. Now, what we might do if we don't have the strength at first is bring our knees into our head. So I might do this. And that's okay place to start. What I'd like you guys to really try to do is drive your knees towards the ceiling. All right? So watch. I come up, boom. Hips pop up, knees go to the ceiling. All right, keep that up. I'm going to count it out 20 seconds. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Do like 10 more seconds. Try to do it at the 2-minute mark. All right? You can do longer if you like, just to practice it. Try that at least. Good. 3, 2, 1. Next thing we're going to do is a shoulder bridge. All right? Someone sits on top of my chest. They sit on my stomach. This is a way to kind of bump them off. But I'm going to go in a direction, either right or my left, in order to kind of throw them off to the side and give me an opportunity to reverse the position. So if someone sits on my stomach, right, and I'm protecting myself, what I can do is pop up my hips, get onto one shoulder, and then hopefully eject their body to one direction or the other. So plant my feet, I pop my hips, and I get up to one shoulder. Boom, right here. And then I do the same to the other side. Bang. And we're going to go back and forth. Try to keep the head up off the ground and get really high onto your shoulder. From the side, it looks like this. Boom. Bring your hand across your body. Boom. So you're working your stomach, you're working your lower back, you're working your butt, you're working your hamstrings. All right? Let's keep that up for another 15 seconds. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The last quick thing we'll do before that round ends, there's a certain lock or submission called a kimura, basically bending the arm back like this, okay? There's a way to do it from our back when we are working with an opponent, but there's also a workout that can be done with it. So what happens is someone's sitting on my stomach, and or someone's in between my legs, I have them controlled here, and I can sit up and basically grab their arm and then turn it into a submission. So we're not going to do the submission, but we'll do the stomach exercise that helps. So we come up, and I bring my knee, my elbow to my opposite knee, down, up, elbow to the opposite knee, and I just turn. All right, let's keep doing that together. And time. Very good. So hopefully you were able to do at least some of that with me. If not, don't worry. We're going to do another round of that, and at least that's the introduction. So give yourself a second. If you need to pause the video, go back and look at that, feel free to do so, and then we'll do it in a couple of rounds. Going into round 5 now, I'd like you to do a freestyle round. Let's call it a technical round, okay? So you can throw anything that you like, but within the 3-minute round, I want to keep some guidelines. And those guidelines will be, I want every strike or every combination to start with a straight kick. All right, you can choose whether that's the teep, which is a little bit more the Thai style where you extend outward, or you can do the snap kick, which is rotating at the knee. Front leg, rear leg, doesn't matter. All right, so I want you to start with a teep, and I want everything to be, let's say, 4 strikes. So start with a straight leg kick from the front or back leg, and follow it up with hands, with legs, doesn't matter. That's beginning the round, all right? 3 minutes, 4 strikes at a time. Everything starts with either a straight leg, a kick from the front, or from the back. All right, let's try it out. I'll do a few myself just to kind of get the ball rolling. All right, you got 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Gives you an opportunity to test your creativity, test your knowledge base, but within a controlled, let's say, controlled circumstance, right? Within a set of controls. This way, you don't get lost in all of the options of all of the creativity, all of the possibilities, right? I give you at least 1 or 2 things to start with. You know, okay, at the end of the day, I got to start with a straight kick. I know I'm only going to do 4 movements. A couple less things to think about. So now you just have to think within those terms, right? People that are, really creative and like to do a lot of stuff, that might seem, monotonous, or might seem like constraints. But the truth is, if you can learn within those, if you can be creative within those boundaries, that's good practice. And then for the people that don't really know where to start, this gives you a couple things to start with. You're going to hit 4 times every time. It's always going to start with a straight kick, front or left leg, left or right leg, doesn't matter. All right, let's keep going. Got just under 90 seconds to go. I'll throw a few more, just moving around. All right, so I'm going to throw the snap kick from the front leg, jab, hook, uppercut. I added that roll back at the end, right? Let's move around. Let's throw a snap kick from the back leg. Boom, switch, teep, right? One was a snap, one was a teep, cross hook, boom, and I moved around, right? Maybe I threw another snap kick, swoop, knee, cross, and I roll out. I really like to roll back to that back leg. Very common defense for me. So if you have a spar, I like to do that a lot. All right, let's go. 54 seconds, 52 seconds now left. Keep moving around. Start with that straight kick, follow it up with 3 strikes afterwards. All right, 4 strikes total. Again, it can be elbows, it can be knees. Doesn't have to all be punches, but learn how to lead these combinations off with your straight kicks. All right, 30 seconds to go. There's a click. Hopefully you guys are finding some benefit to this. Hopefully you're not finding it too difficult, too complicated. Again, it is really very straightforward, pretty fundamental, but if you are unfamiliar with these types of rounds, these types of exercises, it can take a second to get used to. Give yourself that time. Let's go. Last 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's your time. Good. Deep breaths into your nose, out your mouth, like I always say. All right, we're going to go into round 6. So ending up the last 4 rounds, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 is going to be a freestyle round, similar to what we just did, but it'll be all out freestyle. Let's do a couple of combinations for 7 and 8. I'm sorry, for 6 and 7, and then in round 8, we'll get back to the ground and do those jiu-jitsu movements. All right. So from here, let's throw a jab, cross, slip, roll, hook, uppercut, and then switch knee, okay? So a little bit longer combo, but nothing we can't do. Jab, cross, slip, slip, roll, rear hook, lead, uppercut, come in, switch knee. All right, I'll do it this direction. Jab, cross, slip, slip, roll, rear hook, lead, uppercut, switch, lead knee, restart. All right, if you want to add maybe another elbow or something at the end of that, go for it. All right, those knees, anytime we get in close, we work all that way to get into that knee, bang. We have the right distance. If we haven't moved them so far back that we can't reach, if they maintain the ground or we back them up into the ring or to a corner, boom, those elbows are right there, okay? So one more time, facing this direction, and then I'll move it around in every direction. Jab, cross, slip, slip, roll. Notice I use my stomach for those slips. Slip, slip, then my legs for the roll. Bring that back, rear hook, lead uppercut, right? Really, I should correct that. Bring that elbow right up the middle, right? Hook, lead uppercut, I switch, I throw that knee. As I switch, and anytime you switch really, when we're going for a switch kick, a switch knee, whatever it is, try not to jump up in the air. It takes more time, and it's a telegraph, right? From the head, from the chin up, they shouldn't see anything happening, right? Pop, pop. As opposed to, everybody sees what happens when we do that, right? And then it makes my head get in my face. No good for anybody, right? So as you switch, boom, try to be subtle with it. Try to have it all happen in the lower body. You do that by controlling the stomach, controlling the hips, okay? I'm going to go in this direction. So from here, jab, cross, slip, slip, roll, rear hook, lead uppercut, bang, lead knee. Here, from this angle, jab, cross, slip, slip, roll, rear hook, lead uppercut, boom, switch knee. Once more, back to the camera, a little bit off to the side, so you guys can see a little bit of the angle. Jab, cross, slip, slip, roll, hook, uppercut, boom, switch knee, pop, pop. And want to add a little bit to the end of it. Keep it going. Let's go. Got a minute 22 to go. Play around with it. And for you more advanced people that take this, again, you can do little variations. This is just giving you something, to turn your brain off and allow someone else to kind of dictate the workout. It's more flow. So if you're intermediate, advanced, you can take these, break them up a little bit. Again, I'm giving you basic structure. And add some stuff. Add some more head movement, some defense, right? You could add to the end of the combo. You could throw your own combos and then add this kind of maybe 50% of what you throw throughout the round is this combo plus your own stuff. Different ways that you can take the same training tools, same training mechanism, right? Being these virtual classes, and then make them your own when you have the experience and the ability to do so, right? If anybody that's a little bit newer, stick to the program. Just go through the repetitions, go through the motions, pause, rewind, watch me do it again if necessary, if that helps. And that's how you get better at this stuff, right? We got 25 seconds to go. Keep it up. Keep moving around. Remember to exhale every time you strike, all right? You don't want to get so tired that you can't continue can't finish the round. And better breathing habits will make you better at that. All right, last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Round 7. Oh, sorry, round 6. Make sure my rounds don't turn off on me. All right, round 7, last combo round, and then again, round 8 will be the jiu-jitsu drilling on the ground for a little bit of our core, all right, front and back, and then round 9 will be freestyle. All right, for this last round, let's get a little bit more involved in those elbows, right? So let's start the same way. Let's take a little piece of that last combination. Let's throw that rear hook, that lead uppercut, and then from that lead uppercut, I want you to actually step in with an uppercut elbow. A lot of times I've been throwing these straight elbows. No, excuse me, I don't throw that uppercut elbow a lot, so let's add that in there. So let's go rear hook. Let's assume we're kind of already close to our opponent. We're not reaching for this. So rear hook, lead uppercut, step in to an uppercut elbow. Look, it's one of the few times my elbow comes above my shoulder, right? And then, bang, I'm going to come over top like a tomahawk elbow. Switch, knee, knee, all right? That's how we're going to go. So that's the whole combination. Hook, uppercut, there's around. Hook, uppercut, uppercut elbow, overhand, a tomahawk elbow, switch knee, rear knee, okay? We'll do it this way. So hook, uppercut, up elbow, down elbow, knee, knee. You see my hands I'm holding because in my head, after I've thrown this and this, I'm grabbing onto the back of the head. I've hopefully come down on the top of the head, on the nose, somewhere on the face, bang. And now I just extend. I pull their head in. That's their neck. My forearm is heavy against their chest. Boom, like a crank. Bang. And now I bring my other hand. I switch. I throw that knee, and then I throw another knee. All right. If I'm doing it in this direction, I'm throwing the rear hook, up elbow. I'm sorry. Rear hook, uppercut, up elbow, down elbow. Pull them in. Switch knee, lead knee. All right. Notice as I do that too, I'm not leaning over, right? Keeping my body posture tall. I'm pulling them in with my chest and my back muscles like this, my elbows back, right? Like I'm doing a row. Bang, I hold them here. And then in doing so now, I'm driving my hips forward, like I'm pulling them, okay? But what I'm pulling, it really is at the back of the neck. All right, so I'll do it this way one more time. I'll face the other direction. So here, my fighting stance, or even if I'm in a little bit more traditional Thai stance, I'm doing the march, right? I like to fight a little bit more here, a little bit more traditional boxing, kickboxing, MMA style, like I'm going to shoot. I'm here, bang, bang, elbow, elbow, bang, bang. Hands up, I retreat, I do it again. From this direction, all right, I'm going to throw hook, uppercut, up elbow, down elbow, ah, ah, bang, and I come back, always back to my feet, back to my stance. All right, just over a minute to go. See what you guys can do. Work through it, go slow. If you're not comfortable with these movements, really try to build that balance on the balls of your feet. You see, I'm up on here a lot, especially when I'm throwing these elbows. I'm getting close, I'm driving my hips. You should be very comfortable, high up on your toes like that, okay? 45 seconds. Boom. Getting down to the last 35. You'll hear the click at 30 seconds to go. Keep working through it. There it is. I pointed up, but I know it's going to be down here because that's where my individual clock is, but I have the inset clock on the side. Keep it going. Last 15 seconds, I'll count it down with you, all right? 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's a click, all right? We're going to get on the ground again if you need to rewind earlier on, or you could just fast forward, review it, and then restart the round. We're going to start off with triangles, getting your knees up to the ceiling. We'll then go to shoulder bridges, and then we'll finish up with the Kimura sit-up. It's called the Kimura sit-up. That's just a way to kind of strengthen the stomach muscles to allow you to go and reach for someone. So I'll do them each once, all right? And then when the round starts, we'll do it for time. We'll do it for conditioning, all right? Here we go. In jiu-jitsu, when we hit the ground, we do a little slap like that. It's part of a break fall. It helps us break our fall, just like it sounds. So remember, the triangles are like this. Shoulder bridges are here. Kimura sit-up is here. All right, let's go. I'll do it once from this side. We're going to be doing 1 minute. We're starting with the triangle sit-up, the triangle chokes. You guys seeing all my legs. Keep it up. You got 38 seconds to go. I'm just going to hang out here like I'm posing for a calendar. 30 seconds, and then we transition to the shoulder bridges. Try to breathe. Try to keep yourself balanced. Try to point those knees towards the ceiling. Remember, foot goes under the leg. You're folding like this, not like this. All right, now we're going to shoulder bridges. Here. Boom. One side. The other side. One side. From the side again. Up on the shoulder. Up on the shoulder. Hips come up. Reach. 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 Okay? 40 seconds. This is round 8. Last bit of drilling before we go into our freestyle. 26 seconds to go. You guys can't see it, but there's always fun things happening outside of these windows in Brooklyn. Always happy and proud to be New Yorker. Last 15 seconds, and then we'll go to these Kimura sit-ups, okay? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Watch. Now I come up to one elbow and bring my other elbow to my knee. Here. 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 Sometimes we'll come all the way up to the hand, depending on the movement, but I think the elbow is sufficient just to get the work in. So again, elbow to opposite knee. I come up, I'm here. I come up, I'm here. All right, let's go. 30 seconds. That's your marker right there, that click. It's your 30-second one. Keep coming. I'll count you down for the last 15. All right, here we go at 16. Let's get it. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is. Time. Round 8. Crazy how quick that goes. You know, I started this thing like, oh, I got 9 rounds. You know, might take me a second. I'm gonna need some water. And here we go. We're already at round 9. Already doing a great job at getting through this entire workout. Again, as always, you can go back to some of those rounds if you are unsure about some of those movements, or if you want to review them so you can use some of that stuff in this final round. Round 9 is an open round. I'll coach you through it a little bit. As always, try to apply some of the things that we did. Even if you want to throw some stuff and then, you know, imitate falling to the ground and throwing up a triangle choke, or bumping somebody off with the shoulder roll, right? Something like that. Feel free to incorporate that. Just do it safely. Make sure you're not going to hit your head on the ground if you go down there. But try to throw some of your own strikes, through your own combinations. Freestyle. Try to be fluid. Let's get something going here. You can use some of those previous combinations. There it is. Round 9. Let's go. I'll move around a little bit myself just to get you started off, but see if you can start doing this on your own, little by little. Even myself, I'll switch between throwing that teep versus the snap kick, right? Snap kick can be thrown very easily. The teep takes a little bit more control, takes a little bit more technique. This is anybody can throw that, you know, no martial arts experience. You can just kind of kick that leg up and it can be very powerful, very useful like that. But, you know, when you really hone those skills, it helps. And then being able to go, you know, switch from this to this, 2 different kicks, both very useful, especially when you can, again, put them in the right place, right? Make sure you add offense, defense. All right, let's go. Move it around. You got under 2 minutes to go. Challenge yourself. I always like to say that. Safety is always #1 priority. I say that often in class. But if you want to make a jump to the next level, you got to push yourself a little bit. You got to get up to those edges of your ability. And the more you kind of nudge up against them, the more likely you are to improve your technique, improve your conditioning. Okay, so if you can, last 90 seconds we got here. Last 90 seconds. Really try to push yourself a little bit. Break a sweat. Get yourself tired. Get yourself to a slightly uncomfortable place. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's a test of a true martial artist, is your ability, one of the tests, because there's a lot of things, but your ability to stay calm, to stay comfortable, to stay focused in these uncomfortable, these unfamiliar, scary places, right? Sometimes just the fatigue in your body, that slight feeling of nausea. You don't want to get nauseous and puke all over your carpet at home, but like that feeling of like, oh man, I don't know how much I got left. But being able to control that and kind of keep moving, knowing just how much you can do to not pass out, but keep moving as opposed to giving up right away. It's an important thing to learn about yourself. Martial arts is a great way to do that. Coming up to the last 30 seconds. If you haven't yet, Let's pick up that pace. There we go. 30 seconds. Let's move. Use your footwork too, right? If you got enough space. Even here, small space, but I can move. I go to this edge. I go to this edge. I pivot. I step forward. Bang. Boom. Throw my kicks to the middle. Make sure I have enough room, right? It's just a small space I have here. And time. Great work, gang. Catch your breath. Grab some water. Stick around for the cool down and the stretch. All right, so now with the cool down, remember we just want to move around a little bit and keep our muscles from cramping up. So keep the intensity low, but still keep your technique and your form as high level as possible. If we did something specific throughout the workout that is new to you or that you'd like to really remember, now's the time to commit it to memory. So as you're shadow boxing, as you're cooling down, try to maybe repeat some of the things we did throughout the workout or something that maybe you struggled with. See if you can iron out some of those wrinkles now, still maintaining, again, a low intensity because this is the end of the workout. We're not trying to get a heart rate up. We're trying to steadily bring it down, but with some active movement. This is called active rest or an active cool down. Again, keep it varied. Make sure you stretch and cool down your entire body, your left side, your right side, your hands, your feet. Keep the intensity low, the energy low. Let's just bring it slowly to a close before we stretch. And time. Now we're stretching. We're going to breathe in and exhale as we reach down for our toes. Make sure those feet are a little bit wider than your shoulders. And then just relax. You can reach over to one side, reach over to the other, back and forth, just to get a little extra stretch. And then we'll put a small, short bend in our knees. Feel that stretch in your lower back. Let your head get really heavy. And then slowly we can bring our butt down to our heels as close as we can get and push those knees out with your elbows. So you get a stretch on the insides of the legs. Now we'll stretch one leg on one side, getting more of a stretch under on the inside of the leg. We do the same thing to the other side. We'll slowly make our way back and slide those hands up to your hips. And then we're in hip rotations, maintaining that shoulder width stance. And go back the other way. It's a really great way to loosen up those hips in a very low energy, low intensity way. Let's lean to one side, pull on the ankle to stretch the quad, maintaining our balance. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, keeping the knees close together. From here, we'll place our feet shoulder width again, and then we'll stretch out, loosen up that mid back. Opening it up. Hands behind the back, expand the chest, chin up, shoulder blades together. Now let's reverse that movement. Wrists on the lower back, chest in, chin down, elbows forward. Loosening up the rotator cuffs. From here, we'll bring one hand across to the other side, circles in the wrist, stretching the back of the arm. Repeat that on the other side, stretching the back of the arm, circles in the wrist. Bring the hand over the top of the head and slowly lean to one side, stretching the lats and the tricep a little bit, as well as the back. Switch it, same thing to the other side. Getting some mobility in that mid upper back. And then from here, we're going to relax our shoulders and pull the head gently to one side, gently to the other. And then the same thing with our chin. Gently to one side, gently back the other way, and then chin to our chest. As always, we'll end on the ground in our deep bow. Find something that you liked in class, something that you're grateful for today. And let's do a deep bow mini meditation. Another few breaths right here. One last deep breath. And exhale on your way up. Great work. See you next time.